I'm Nia-Malika Henderson at the Washington Post workspace in Tampa at the Republican National Convention here this morning with Jonathan Capehart. We shared some macaroni and cheese late last night. After the speeches. That's right. Now patriotic M&Ms. What stood out for you last night? You had Artur Davis on stage, Ann Romney, of course, Chris Christie. Talk to me a little bit about Artur Davis. What did you make of his speech, his switch from 2008 to a very prominent role here last night?
Well, I mean, it's a remarkable feat. I mean, we saw it happen. This isn't the first time. Artur Davis is not the first Democrat to switch parties and go Republican. We saw it in a more dramatic fashion with Senator Joe Lieberman, who was the Democratic vice presidential nominee in 2000, who then showed up at the Republican convention, I believe it was 2008, yes, to speak for Senator John McCain, who's a Republican nominee last go-around. But with Artur Davis, there is, I mean, Joe Lieberman caused a lot of commotion within the Democratic Party when he switched. And I'm seeing the same level, if not more, consternation over what Artur Davis did. Maybe it's because, oh, I don't know, Artur Davis gave one of the nominating speeches at the Democratic Convention in 2008. He was a prominent member of the Democratic Party who then went back home to Alabama to run for governor and lost in the primary. And now people are viewing his switch to the Republican Party as something of a huge betrayal. I mean, it's a betrayal, but it's along the lines of Brutus.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, so, you know, you could ask him, so, yeah, people switch parties all the time, but not everybody shows up at the other party's convention to say the other guy's a bum.
Right.
And why do you do it? And, I mean, the answer you get back is one that's very smooth, very polished, clearly one very well thought out, this idea that people run for office, switch parties all the time, and just, you know, hey, maybe because I was a member of Congress, it gets more attention.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of explaining to do to Democrats, but I mean, as in your interview with him a little while ago, Artur Davis doesn't care what Democrats think of what he did.
Is this going to mean anything for African Americans? Republicans are, of course, struggling with that voting bloc. I think the latest poll is something like 2% of African Americans think they'll support the Romney-Ryan ticket. Can Artur Davis carry that message to African Americans to get them to look at this Romney-Ryan ticket?
No.
No.
Artur Davis, in order for African Americans to pay attention to someone within the Republican Party who could convince them that voting out the first African American president of the United States is something they should do, it's not going to happen. And I don't know who that person could be. I don't even think...
Maybe Bill Clinton, but he would never do that.
No,
not even Bill Clinton.
No, it would have to be someone like Oprah. It would have to be someone so high up where they're like, you know what? I don't know. He's turned on me. He's betrayed me. To literally make people think, well, maybe I really should think about that. And think about this other thing. When the president made his switch on same-sex marriage, there were all these commentators saying, oh, he's going to lose the African-American vote because African-Americans don't support same-sex marriage, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, we all know that's not going to be it.
It didn't happen,
It didn't It wasn't going to happen, it didn't happen, and it won't happen because I think people see, African Americans see within President Obama, like the realization of centuries worth of dreams and ideals and goals. It'll take a whole lot more and someone a whole lot bigger than Artur Davis to change that tide.
Do you think Republicans are going to make any serious efforts to go after African American voters?
No. As we've seen in the reporting, you know, we know on both sides, it's all about revving up their bases. And as the New York Times reported over the weekend, last weekend, the strategy from the Romney campaign is go after working class white voters, get them to the polls, get them there so that they vote for Mitt Romney. That message doesn't appeal to African Americans. And when you have things like the candidate saying on the trail something, you know, cracking a birth certificate joke, and you hear the people laughing, you know, there are other people other than the base who are watching. And so in an election where every vote counts, each campaign is shaking the bushes for as many spare votes that might be there. You can't afford to make a mistake like that if you're trying to get somebody from over here.
Right.
But it's the right thing to do if what you're trying to do is ensure that the people over here who support you actually come out and vote for you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jonathan Capehart.
Thanks,
Maybe tonight we'll get some more macaroni and cheese.
Mac
I
and
hope
cheese.
so. That's right. Thanks for joining us for Conventional Wisdom. We'll be back again.